Hello, Justin DeHaan here with another segment of Hockey Hardware. Today we have a medal from Clarence Day. Now this particular medal, as you can see, says Stanley Cup winners. This is a Stanley Cup Championship medal, and it is from the Toronto Maple Leafs 1941-42 season. You'll see C.H. Day on the back for Clarence Day. Now we've talked about Happy Day on this channel before, and I did tell you that we would talk a little bit about his coaching career with the Maple Leafs that followed his 10-year captaincy of the very same team. Once Dick Irvin had left the Toronto Maple Leafs to go coach the Montreal Canadiens, Hap Day was tapped to take over for him in the 1940-41 season. This medal comes the season after that, when the Toronto Maple Leafs would win a Stanley Cup, the first of 5 Stanley Cups that Hap Day would win as a head coach. Now, what makes this particular Stanley Cup extra interesting? This was the series. They were facing Detroit in the Stanley Cup Finals. They dropped their first 3 games and went on to win in 7 games. And Hap Day out-dueled Detroit's head coach, Jack Adams. So games 1, 2, and 3, those all go to Detroit, even though Toronto was the favorite heading into the series. Hap Day made some pretty incredible changes heading into Game 4, some pretty gutsy changes that would change the fabric of the series. He took out his star defenseman, Bucko McDonald, and his leading scorer, Gordie Drillin, much to the chagrin of Toronto fans and media. Hap Day would say he felt really vilified by the fans and media at that time. They didn't believe in him, especially since he was such a new coach to the organization. And what he did was he put in some youth. He added in Ernie Dickens and Bob Goldham. He had Nick Metz's younger brother, Don Metz, join the roster. Now, Don Metz, not that well known for the Maple Leafs at this point. In the regular season, he recorded 5 points in 25 games. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, he recorded 7 points, 4 goals, and 3 assists in just 4 games. So that shakeup really helped. In fact, in Game 4, Don's older brother, Nick, who scored the winning goal for Game 4 to give the Leafs that 4-3 win in Game 4, and also that started to unravel the Detroit Red Wings, especially their head coach, Jack Adams. Now, at the end of Game 4, an incensed Jack Adams ran onto the ice and started an altercation with the referee. He punched him in the face while yelling obscenities. Detroit's fans were showering the ice with whatever they could find in their seats. No octopuses yet, though. And the result would be he was suspended indefinitely, and he would miss the next game behind Detroit's bench. So their assistant coach would take over the coaching duties for Jack Adams. Detroit fans will tell you that's where things unraveled for Detroit. But really, it comes before that. It comes with Hap Day making some pretty impressive coaching changes for his roster, especially for such a young coach. In 1942 Stanley Cup Finals, that Game 7 win, that was the first time in NHL history that a Stanley Cup Finals did go to 7 games. It was also the first and only time a team has come back from an 0-3 deficit in the Stanley Cup Finals. And then Hap Day would set another record with the Leafs. He won 3 straight cups, 1947, 48, and 49. And that was the first time a team had won 3 straight cups, which of course would be eclipsed later. So 5 total Stanley Cups with the Maple Leafs as a head coach, 1 Stanley Cup with the Maple Leafs as a player. And this medal was his reward for the very, very famous 0-3 comeback in 1942 Stanley Cup Finals. And Hap Day certainly earned it. And that's it for this episode of Hockey Hardware. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We have episodes every Monday right here on YouTube. Thank you.